summarizing his career. A lot of them didn't even touch on the stint with WMCA for 2 years, only the big ones, NBC and ABC, which, they're big stations, but WMCA was a force to be reckoned to, too, when Strauss Communications owned them back, big 570, and it was a 5-kilowatter, and that thing screamed. It sounded like a 50,000-watt radio station there in Manhattan with their studios in Kearny, New Jersey. My dad was the broadcast engineer who kept that station going for many years, and I was able to actually learn radio and really catch the bug, if you will, when I worked at the radio station. And I started out, doing things like making coffee and sweeping the floors, taking trash out, odd jobs, and then learning, how to bulk tapes and erase things when we were doing reel-to-reel, and learning how consoles worked and just how radio worked altogether. And I was able to ask questions and just to see everything in action. And, it was a big deal if you were off the air for a second or two. I mean, alarms would go off. I mean, I've listened to some radio stations in some markets close to me, and sometimes they're 4, 5, 10 seconds. Somebody would have been canned in New York radio, but there's a reason why. It's a standard. It's like the gold standard of radio. New York is the number one market for radio, and I think I do the show now from the 10th radio market in Tampa, or the top 12, something like that. But we've risen here in the Tampa Bay area. It'd be nice to be on a Tampa affiliate, but we're not. We are on Ocala. That's our nearest north of us, which we're very grateful. And that station is doing just fine. They're at easy listening, and they plug us in at drive time, which is awesome. I would love to hear from you folks in Ocala at forthepeopleshow.com. Just email us, or any of you across the country that want to reach out, send me an email and let me know that you're listening to the radio show, what you like about the show, and guess what you don't like about the radio show. And that's okay, too. Our friend Nevin Gusick, he is a political commentator. He's an author, and he had a health scare, and I'm going to ask him about it. We almost lost him. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about that and its realities. And it's amazing. You can look good. You can sometimes even feel good. But he had some warning signs. We're going to talk about that and other things, such as Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. Guess what he's telling them? He's telling conservatives to go big. And he doesn't stop there. He goes on to say to go bold. This is a big deal here. He's speaking to a conference of conservatives outside of Washington, and he's urging Trump and conservatives to go big and go bold. Walker's recounting his battles with liberal activists and labor unions, comparing his experience in Wisconsin with what President Donald Trump and his cabinet are expecting in the future and experiencing even now. And he tells the activists, been there, done that. There's so many administrations, even Abraham Lincoln. This is not an anomaly. And by the way, with disagreements within party about moves that are made, cabinet decisions, and even Obama just trying to get settled in for his administration. Of course, the liberal media doesn't tell you that it was in so-called what the liberal media says in disarray. These are the transitions. These are the growing pains that are associated with assembling a government. And Trump, he can't even get his full administration going because they won't even approve everybody. The education secretary, labor secretary, all of this, finally we're getting some movement and got more movement, but it's still contentious. And it's this liberal, we're going to drag our feet. We're going to be crybabies and do it. Eventually, they'll all be nominated. Eventually, it'll happen. But, I think CPAC, this year, I think is great. Conservatives are gathering, and they're praising Trump. And more importantly, this is the best thing, is that they're burying their differences. Trump is the president. They get it. And now they want to accomplish big things. And there's a lot of things that we can do to get this country moving again, getting the jobs there and ready for Americans to be able to capitalize off actually getting employed. You're bringing the jobs back from overseas, strengthening our military, these important things, getting people off these welfare checks, which is just ridiculous. Getting more pride in our red, white, and blue, bringing patriotism back. If people didn't feel very patriotic about our country for the last 8 years, well, now's an opportunity to be able to start feeling patriotic and feeling proud of your country. It was amazing when Michelle Obama said, now she finally feels proud of her country because, the first African-American was elected. I feel proud after 8 years now seeing policies that actually affect us in good ways actually take root and start seeing things happen in a real way instead of just talking about things. Not rhetoric, not campaign promises that are made to be broken, but honest to goodness, roll up your sleeves, we're getting this job done, and that's what's taking place. That's what's happening. CPAC, I think it's a beautiful thing that's happening. It's an event that is now decidedly in the Republican mainstream, and Trump and Vice President Mike Pence will drop by a little bit later on to fire up, guess how many? 10,000 people, 10,000 activists in attendance, and it's known as CPAC. And the event is being held in the new MGM Resort and Casino located in Maryland. It's just outside of D.C. I used to live in Alexandria, Virginia, and that's a beautiful location there. Lived in Alexandria, commuted into White Flint. I used to work for Clear Channel. I had a stint there in Rockville, and I used to take the Metro. I was just lazy. I didn't even want to drive. Forget the Beltway. Anybody knows the Beltway? You get on the Metro. I know I shouldn't say this, but I used to sneak my Dunkin' Donuts coffee onto the Metro. I did. Nobody said anything. I didn't sneak it. Nobody said it. Even the conductor was nice about it. I just didn't spill it, and then I didn't litter. I was very careful with my coffee, so that's what you have to do. You're not supposed to bring anything. You're not supposed to have open drinks and stuff like that, because I try to keep the trains clean, and they always ran on time. Always. Had a great experience. If you ever are in the D.C. area, ride the Metro. It's actually a very, very fun experience. We're going to take a quick break. Don't forget, at the bottom of the hour, we have Nevin coming up. It's been a little while. And men, you want to stay tuned for this. And ladies, you can encourage your guys to get checked out. We're going to find out his world and also what he's working on, because he's always working on items, writing things up here. And I'll turn you on to some of his writings where you can find more information about him. You can even query him right now, Nevin Gussick. Keith Allen, For the People. We'll be back.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people, for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
For the People has a new way to find us on the web. Just go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. There you can listen to our daily podcasts. When you can't find a radio station that carries us, you can even listen to past shows at forthepeopleshow.com. You can also find our bookstore, where you can order 24 hours a day at the People's Store. Just remember, forthepeopleshow.com. Click there now. For the People has a special opportunity for you. If you own a business and want to gain a national audience that is loyal and will do business with you, imagine being able to get your product and or service into the hands of tens of thousands of people each week. Sponsorship opportunities are now available at rates you can afford. Finally, the show you love, with your business supporting what we do in partnership. Start running your commercials today. To contact us, go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. For the People is on the air for you. Each day we strive to tell it to you straight, not watered down, so you can know what's going on each day. Our show is different from many of the others on air. We're not afraid of the PC police, and we explain our position, at the same time understanding the left's position and what we can do to further a conservative agenda for America. For the People is listener-supported and relies on listeners like you to help us get the word out. So, if you like what we do and want to help For the People, sign up today at our website at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Your support allows us to report the news fearlessly and guarantees our survival on the air. As a thank you, we'll send you our monthly newsletter with commentary and money-saving tips. Can we count on your support? Thank you for helping America. To become a For the People member, log on to forthepeopleshow.com. Now, Keith Allen and For the People. I had to look up at the clock just before that end of the segment, and I looked up and I realized, wait a second, we're actually going to a hard break. The network actually has to do a break, have to do news, and commercials have to clear their inventory. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to be back in just a second. We had several minutes of commercials. And if you're a podcast listener and you listen to our podcast, then it's pretty instant. The commercial ends, the bumper music comes back in. Nevin's, he's kind of like a radio star in himself. You know how this works, Nevin, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well, welcome back to For the People. And wow, I was shocked when I got a text from you. And for our audience, what did you tell me?
Well, for about a week to a week and a half before last week, I had started to work out again, do a lot of heavy, brisk walking for a couple of miles.
Good for you.
And some working out at the gym, thank you, and working out at the gym, doing Stairmaster and treadmill, including treadmill with an incline. And I noticed whenever I would exert myself, I would feel this tightness in my chest, my upper chest, specifically where the trachea and the aorta vena cava area is. And I had never felt that before. And at first, maybe I thought, I'm really badly out of shape. This is the price you have to pay.
Yeah.
But it kept with me for a week to 2 weeks. And it really wasn't going away. I felt it was kind of strange. I also was very, very out of breath walking up the stairs in our 2-floor house.
Are you a smoker?
No, I don't smoke. Generally don't drink. I don't do illegal drugs or anything like that.
Clean guy. Clean guy.
Yeah, pretty clean in that respect. I mean, occasionally I have a beer or wine at a family dinner.
Well, we're not going to fault you with that. Who doesn't? Well,
but generally not.
Yeah.
So after a family dinner on Sunday night, lovely family dinner, my stepmom and dad's 35th anniversary, I came home and I just felt so winded walking up the stairs.
Huh.
So my wife encouraged me strongly to go to the hospital. I listened to as well. I said, honey, this is just not right. This is
something feels funny. Yeah, this has been lingering too long.
So I went to the hospital, and I got checked out. I had different tests, blood work, chest exam, EKG,
the whole works,
etc.
Yeah,
the whole works. And then it came to the cardiac CAT scan. And what they found was blocked arteries.
Ooh. How blocked?
Yeah.
How blocked?
I was hoping to release that night and just be told basically, hey, Nevin, you just got to lose some weight, you're out of shape. Well, that wasn't in the cards. They kept me, and as I said, they did the cardiac CAT scan. They found artery blockage, and
how severe?
And as it turns, it was pretty bad.
What's pretty bad? What's pretty bad?
My right coronary artery was clogged almost 100%.
Oh, my.
The other coronary arteries were 30 to 40% blocked.
Wow.
And the thing of it is that what's partly kept me going was collateral arteries that apparently had grown around the clogged arteries. Lucky. Yep. I think, honestly, God was I'm not a super religious person, but I do believe in God.
Yes.
And reflecting on this, I think he was really looking out for me.
I do too, because you got a beautiful family,